This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. So I feel a little ridiculous worrying about the forever chemicals in water, and well water here in Florida, since they just recently found that they are, they released a study that shows that the PFAS are in rainwater pretty much everywhere, in limits that exceed recommendations. These are the forever chemicals that cause various diseases, some of which I have. Cancer. I don't have cancer. I've had cancer. Thyroid disruptor, endocrine disruptors, cholesterol. They just don't break down, and they're in a lot of products, and obviously they're in everything on earth. If they're in the rainwater, they're in the air. So everything moves through water and air. So I harp about these houseplants. I got these to plant in our orchard floor, these philodendrons and anthuriums. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. I want to make my jungle here. I was using rainwater because I thought I was doing safe. So if you're watering with PFASs in your water, then your plant's releasing those PFASs into the air. A lot of people grow, well, most everyone grows like using, in the US, semi-hydro, and most everyone uses slow release fertilizers that they don't know where they came from, or they don't know the path of those, the origin of those slow release fertilizers. But even if you do know where they're from, they're still releasing nutrients into the air, and they're not human beneficial. So the only way to get the health benefits from your houseplants is to have basically a living soil, not a soilless substance. They have issues with leaving them standing in water, but yet, when they put their substrate in for the philodendrons, but yet they do all the cuttings in pure water. That's because their substrate creates a acidic soil solution, water solution, that isn't plant beneficial. So it tends to rot the roots if it's standing in water. But we leave ours we grow everything the same in biodynamic compost. We make our own compost. It doesn't have to be biodynamic. We're still biodynamic for a few more months. I'm just not going to pursue it anymore, that or the organic. I don't think so. I might change my mind. I haven't let them know yet. I don't have to let them know yet. So, but it's in compost we make from our zebu manure, pine shavings, bokashi compost, and a little grass hay. But I know the source of everything. Everything we track. All carbon sources to make our compost, we track all of it. But probably unnecessary, knowing that PFASs are in the rainwater, so it seems kind of futile. But I just can't give up hope. Seems hopeless. I feel like a fool for ranting on about well water PFASs when all this time it's everywhere. You can't get away from them. They're going to have to go after these companies that create these things to have them fix it. It's a very expensive process, and I don't think they'll ever be able to do it, but they need to be stopped, I think. People need to understand that shade cloth and insect netting is just probably vinyl chloride based plastics that create the pollutants that are causing the problem. So it's kind of hard to say organic farm or regenerative farm if you're using and promoting that as a weed barrier or insect barrier. And then selling organic fruit. So it just doesn't make sense to be certified. I don't think anybody can be certified anymore if they checked everything. They don't check everything. They can pick and choose who they want to check what for, and it's all whether or not probably they whether they feel like doing it or not. I mean, you think that all these videos I make, because I make so many freaking videos, this is the Kwai Muk tree, and I'm just looking at all the fruit on here. It's just loaded, and it's like, you know, it's my favorite fruit. So yes, somebody was here, great people. I'm gonna go look at the jackfruit, see how ripe it is. They said there was an organic farm called a natural farm. It's north of Orlando. I don't know what, you know, it's always odd when I see in northern places doing tropical fruit trees. And I've never been, you have to, when you're organic, you have to check with the organic farms that sell the organic seeds that of the fruit trees that you are growing before you can start. And in the US, it's just a tiny little handful. I believe I'm the only one in most of these fruit trees. But they sell organic jaboticaba. They probably use a water-soluble solution, which I don't believe in. So, but I don't think anything can be organic. So it's I don't think you can water-soluble if it's like a carbon, like a compost tea. Yes, if it's a soil solution, but not a chemical solution, a man-made hydroponic solution. I don't consider that organic. So this is one of our seed-grown sugar apples. We have sugar apples we're selling, $10 a pound. They kind of sell out when I get them, which is good. This ingot tree is like trying to do its thing, but is that a fruit? No, couldn't be. Kind of looks like a fruit. Kind of looks like a fruit. Here's a, I'm not keeping my hopes up. The other ingot trees around here, once they start flowering, I'm sure it will set lots of fruit. So here's some jackfruit. It's getting close. These are little tiny fruits. About, 12 inches or so. They're good. Crunchy, low latex, yellow fruit. It's a grafted tree from Excalibur. I don't know what it is. None of our egg fruit is held fruit this year, and we always get like lots of, not lots, but we have several trees that have always fruit, but I think because of the freeze and the drought, they didn't fruit this year. So you're off for them. This dragon fruit is like, it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Beautiful. It's a giant purple one. I've sold seeds off this. Yeah, so the organic people that, nobody's ever contacted me that has an organic nursery to buy seeds to get rootstock. I also say, you know, they had all these trees and they're like, they're not organic certified, but they're saying organically grown, and they wouldn't even let me do that. Selling the, you know, they came at me because I was selling the seeds as organic from the fruit that's certified organic. They thought I didn't tell them, which I had during the inspection, but they didn't notice at first. Sent me a thing that I'm not in non-compliance with organic farm standards, and it was going to be a knock on my record. But yet the nursery can like do it, and they're not even buying organic seeds for their fruit trees. So I just have issues to I don't know, they can choose to go after you if they want, and I don't like that. It's too stressful for me. I create too many enemies talking bad about nutrient recommendations by universities and stuff like that. So talking about the chemical pollution, but I guess it doesn't matter because we're kind of at an all-time high of pollutants in the air, and the more acidic the rain becomes from all the carbon, the less likely we will be able to grow the plants we need for food naturally. Surely if it all has PFAS in the rainwater you rely on, it's impossible to for plants to grow naturally for food, for health, as medicine. So our Monstera deliciosa, this has taken longer than a year to ripen. I see a little lizard at the top of that one. Hi, little lizard. It's a little gecko. See it, that last one? Guard my fruit, little friend. I wonder if probably we can't really drink, can we? Wrong pH water? This is another, I have to look into that. Huh. I love this plant. It's one of my faves. Monstera deliciosa. Fruit. There's those little dates. I forget the name of this date. It showed up on its own. I did not plant it. I hear chickens. You can't even see the little trees in here, the little cacao. They're looking good. Our cacao is flowering. The little Garcinia humilis, more little cacao. This is I'm looking at this Garcinia, it's humilis. Looks like it's a cha-cha. It's doing quite well. It's like a year from seed there. It's cacao from last year's seed. So it's in the ground a year. There's a bunch of stuff through here. It's all looking good. The air feels really cool right now. It's been like a drought, but under this big trees, it's not as bad. I'll go look at the Garcinias, all three Garcinias. The Garcinia Gardneriana, the Garcinia intermedia, and the Garcinia Brasiliensis. Brasiliensis is like more than one Garcinia. The Garcinias, they're like, have so many different names, each one of them. It's like crazy. So I just call the littlest one the Brasiliensis. I call the one that's the biggest of the lemon drops the Gardneriana. It's got the nipple on it. And then I call the one in the middle intermedia. That just seemed like the most obvious placement of those. But a lot of the Garcinias I bought originally, they were misidentified when I bought them from the nurseries. So there's always been a lot of controversies with the naming of the Garcinias. I don't even think they have a name for Luke's yet, Luke's Garcinia. We have about 100 Luke's trees. So this cacao is like pumping out the flowers. Little tiny flower. Come on. There you go. There's a lot of flowers on it starting up. Do you even want the drought? They send down a taproot. They have to. Huge taproot that's already in the aquifer. We got all this fungi in our soil. If we focused on soil health, fungi health in the soil for most of the time we've been here. I just picked a fruit off this. This is intermedia. She's loaded in fruit. People want these seeds. Gave us a crop already. There's like, see, it's got some fruit that's almost ripe there. There's a lot of fruit on this tree. It's kind of fruits year round. I like the leaves for teas. The Garcinias in particular have been shown to have amazing phytochemicals for human health in their leaves and other plant parts. Most of the stuff comes in from the leaves or the roots. Most of the good beneficial nutrients and compounds. There's that oak tree that snapped a branch. Cassava's looking really good. I love the blueness of it. I love my variegated one, but I like the blueness of the Garcinia trees. They don't mind drought here. All the shade helps. I haven't been back to the mangoes in a while in the back, and the seedlings back there. This is a sweet giant ubijay. All you fruit lovers. Nobody ever seems to know what it is. That was a gift from my friend Frank. Thank you, Frank. He's like got the weirdest plants ever. All food or medicine plants. I kind of focus on the big fruited stuff. Sweet big fruit. That's what I focused on. You know, mangoes. And okay, there's plenty of inflata right here. This looks good. This tree right here. It's a giant mulche, so a giant plenia. I don't grow a lot of jaboticabas and stuff like that, but the giant fruited ones I got, plenty of edulous and mushrooms. It's a mushroom world here, I'm telling you. Mushroom world. I've been taking the, you know, I guess it's the Stammet 7 mushroom powder for a while. Quite a while in my daily concoction I whip up. A little mix of Ayurveda powders and stuff like that. Superoxide plants like beets. It's a healthy looking Garcinia humilis. They all look healthy, all the Garcinias. I'm glad I chose that tree to be our farm. What I want to be known for, but Might take another 10 years. If all goes well. This is the oil nut. I should really have the Latin name, but sorry. These Garcinias are looking good. See, Madruno and that looks like a dulcis. That looks like a macrophylla. And this is a red fruiting variety of Garcinia that, I don't know, maybe it's a male tree, maybe it's just a male Humbromiana, but the leaves are different. I think it's a different than Humbromiana, but I don't know. Here's a Lemon Drop Mangosteen, the brasiliensis, and this is like the smallest fruited one, and it doesn't have any nipple on it. The intermedia has a little nipple on it. This is like a perfectly round fruit, a little smaller than the intermedia, but I got some fruit on it. Looks like we're gonna have ripe fruit of this probably pretty soon. So I sell seeds for $1 and fruit obviously for $1. Okay, this is we have a few of these trees, the Gardneriana, and two producing well trees that produce well, trees. Oh, that's what we need. Here they are. That's a good look at what they look like. They have the elongated nipple on it, and they're more lemon shaped with a long nipple, and they're considerably bigger than the other two, like twice the size. They'll taste about the same to me. I like them. I like them when I eat them. It's not my favorite Garcinias, but I'm glad I have them, and I think everyone should grow them, especially since they seem to do so well here and they have such strong medicinal capabilities, untapped, unknown. So beautiful here. Was that it of my fruiting trees I was going to talk about? Yes. This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. I hope you have a beautiful day.